welcome to the podcast Stop Crying Poser, greatest podcast known to man as voted by the cavemen who first invented written language, colors like red, yellow, and blue. Shout out to everyone who chose to tune in live today. 62 Flames, D-Trick, Niner, James, Gaming, Skating, Derek, Gats, Chillin', Pete, Generation L, 62 Flames, Derek, Gats, Chillin', Pete, all the same names I just said. I do this podcast every single Friday right around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time. Right now, it is 3:34 p.m., which means we are only 4 minutes late, which is not even enough for me to get a write-up at my job at Burger King, where I live, under the fry machine. The fryer? Yeah. So, I have hair today that you guys can clearly see. And also, speaking of being able to see clearly, a new camera, which is reflecting off of my forehead really sillily. Let me know in a comment if you're watching this on YouTube if the camera quality looks different. Probably my last day having hair, buying the new webcam was, listen, it happened because last week I had so much trouble trying to set up a DSLR camera in the other room to try to improve my weekday stream. I stream here on Twitch on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, and then usually Sunday again. And the quality was really bad. The webcam I was using, I've had for like 7-8 years. So I upgraded the webcam because getting the DSLR to work out there just got more and more frustrating. I need a new wire. Now I need a card reader. Now I need special firmware on my camera. Now I need to download that, transfer it onto the camera. It might brick the camera. Make sure the wires, make sure you get the dummy battery, the wires, just so many fucking extra things to have to stress me out. And the fucking thing wouldn't even work that well. There was problem after problem after problem. I can't manually focus. I can't do focus like continuously. It was a mess. So I spent $59 on the tiniest webcam ever just to show you guys that I do have hair, despite what all the 13-year-olds on TikTok say. We've made this joke a million times. There used to be a time where if someone wanted to make fun of someone else online, you would look at them and you would focus in on something, right? Like their pants or their face or their glasses or, hey, even their hair. You would zone in on that one thing that you can see and make a joke about that and then chain your jokes around that to make each other laugh. But nowadays on TikTok, they can see hair coming out from my hat and they go, "Huh, you're bald." And I go, "I'm not bald. I've never been bald. I don't know where," like I understand that you just copy your insult from wherever you read the last insult. I promise you the first person to use the bald insult did it because they saw a bald person. The new version of bald insult means I'm stupid, and when I look at you, I can't think of anything funny to say, so I have to revert and copy and paste the last joke that I saw, which happened to be the bald joke. And I guess that low-level thinking only occurs on TikTok. It's trying to sneak into Instagram, but I think the Instagram generation is a little too smart for that, which is a phrase I never thought I would say. We never thought the Instagram generation would be too smart for anything. But I'll tell you, a job you should go apply to if you're not smart would be FedEx. I've been having a lot of problems with FedEx, and when I say a lot of problems, more than one is a lot of problems when your only job is to bring box, place box down, walk away. Very simple 3-step process. Can you imagine if you made one of those guys work at the mall and they had to know about products and prices and and discounts and remembering the customer's name and upselling, like so many steps, when some people are just built to pick up box, place box down, walk away. That's a much simpler way to live your life. But some people, especially those who work at FedEx, who have been to my house lately, the step one where you come and set the package down and then step two leaving, they couldn't get past step one because for 2 months in a row, the person that delivers my dog food walks up, lifts it above his head, and power bombs it directly onto the neck of the package, breaking my package's spine. And maybe, in his defense, maybe he's thinking, this is a box from Chewy, the dog food brand. And you would think, being a FedEx driver, you'd be familiar with several different sizes of boxes and products from all over the world. Some of them are fragile, some of them are not. And occasionally, if you have a box that says it's from a dog food company, it might be something other than dog food, like dog medicine, or for me, bone broth, or maybe soft treats, or maybe some other type of liquid that helps the dog. Maybe prescription pills that don't need to be power bombed from above your fucking head. Step one, put the fucking package down. Step two, walk away. 2 steps was too many. And I've caught this guy twice on my security camera. I've caught him twice doing it. First time I complained because it broke everything inside the fucking box. So I open the box, everything's wet. Wouldn't be wet. Anyways, I complained to Chewy because I said, hey, it's not your fault, but the carrier that you guys hired to deliver this broke the bone broth, and I need another bone broth, which now hurts the company that makes healthy food for dogs. Why? I was Royal Rumble that day. The FedEx man had to get ready. He not only was going to defeat Stone Cold Steve Austin, he also really hates companies that make bone broth, and he wanted to kill 2 birds with 1 stone. He wanted to practice for Stone Cold while also bankrupting any company that makes healthy food for dogs. So he's really good at what he does, except for being a FedEx employee. Great pro wrestler, great animal activist, wants animals to be unhealthy, really shitty delivery driver. So I complained. Chewy pretended they filed a complaint. They didn't. I complained again. Chewy then claims they filed another complaint. Halfway through the conversation, the second one, I'm trying to tell these guys, hey, this is not your fault. You did your job. You packed healthy dog food into a box, and then you gave it to FedEx softly. You softly handed it to them. And then when they got here is when they decided that they had beef with dog food. So it's not really Chewy's fault. It's FedEx's fault. So I went on Twitter where I felt like I would not be so censored, and I posted both videos of the same guy slamming my fucking package down in different outfits. And it shows the date and time of both. And Chewy automatically came up and they apologized. FedEx was like, oh, I see the problem, sir. Can you send me a DM? And I'm like, oh, you see the problem? Can you describe what's happening in the video? And they go, oh, I'm sorry that happened to you, sir. Send us a DM. We'd love to take care of this. And I go, just by any chance, is there any human being working here? Did you happen to, maybe Grok, can you describe what's happening in this video? And they go, oh, I'm sorry that happened to you, sir. Can you please send me a DM? And I want to give a special shout out to Chewy, the dog food company, for at least trying to rectify the situation. Am I being a Karen? Yes. Is FedEx a piece of shit? Also, yes. Both of those things can be true. And also, not to make this I'm an old man and the young man generation is bullshit. First off, If I said fuck at some jobs, I'd be fired on the spot, right? If I showed up late 2 days in 1 week, fired on the spot. Can you imagine me showing up to work, just breaking the fuck out of things? Just show up to work and just start smashing things. I'd be fired. But there happens to be a job where you never get fired for smashing things that are valuable. It's part of the training. And that would be, that'd be FedEx. So, WWE. If you're looking for anyone to join wrestling who just loves throwing people and things and heavy objects and no accountability, much like pro wrestling, you know, you can rape a chick and you can still be the Intercontinental Champ. I think FedEx, WWE, join forces. No dog food and no woman is safe anywhere with FedEx and WWE joining forces. That was bullshit, man. Skateboarding was okay this week. I went to the park. I decided that it was too hot to try and do a real trick. So I decided to do what Bam Margera calls a trick. I warmed up on this stall, like, you know, bank to stall, pad, box, whatever, then skated flat bar, then skated flat ground. Got really exhausted skating because you think every week I land a clip or a couple tricks every week and I get one clip out of it. So this week getting 20 clips, I didn't realize that it's actually really hard on my body. You know, instead of getting, you know, trying one trick 50 times and landing it once, I'm trying 20 tricks, you know, 5 tries each until I get a clean one. And I'm just dying, tired. Legs are jelly. Ended up getting the Bam Margera trick, and I'm excited to maybe go back and do a better version next week. If you guys didn't see that video, it uploaded today on youtube.com/ninja lifestyle. You'll get to see me skating flat ground, doing flip tricks. Some of them switch, some of them nollie. And that's already more flip tricks than any T-Funk video parts ever. And I just did it as a vlogging old man. Ha ha ha. Gonna keep that joke going forever. Anyways, my legs were super sore. And then, of course, the next day I choose to go on a hike with my dog, hike a few miles in the desert, chased a couple of bunny rabbits and some weird chipmunk animal that no one who lives in this city can identify. It looks like it looks like Alvin and the Chipmunks, except the tail is really short. And there's not a soul in this entire city that can tell me what that animal is. I saw some rabbits. Those are probably jackrabbits, baby jackrabbits. If I see a coyote, everyone knows what that is. If I see a tortoise, everyone knows what that is. But if I locally ask, hey everyone in Walmart, hey everyone at the local bank, here's a picture of an animal I saw, and they're all over the city. Does anyone know what this is? They would be like, squirrel, rat, I don't know. So if anyone knows, you guys can let me know. Can we talk a little bit more about skating? Someone asked me yesterday on stream, and granted I was tired, I was in a bad mood. They simply asked, are you skating an 8.25? And I ignored the question. And I ignored it because I'm being a douchebag, right? I'm being stuck up. I was in the middle of editing and something else was on my mind and I was tired. So I just ignored the question, and then they came back and they were like, what size skateboard do you ride? And I ignored it again because I was in like my cocky mood, right? And I was like, if you want to know about my skateboard, go on my YouTube channel and watch any setup video. There's always going to be one. It'll tell you my wheels, my bearings, my trucks. Just watch any of those videos. And in every, you know what? You could watch one from 10 years ago. My skateboard size hasn't changed. You could probably ask Grok or Alexa what size skateboard I ride, because I've explained it easily 10,000 times. With the amount of times that I'm online, easily 10,000 times I've answered the question. Now, how would they know that? What if it's their first time on Twitch? How would they know that? So then I think of it like that and I go, okay, Steve. Okay, self. No need to be a dick about it. And then right as I'm about to answer, somebody goes, "What size wheels do you ride?" And I lost it. And I'm just like, oh my God, this type of shitty skateboarding small talk is awful. Okay? Skateboarders don't talk about shit like this, number one. Okay? When I first went off the handle, I was like, number one, none of you ride skateboards. Because this is not a skateboarder asking a skateboarder a question. Don't you have your own skateboard? Why the fuck are you worried about mine? How about you worry about what's under your feet and not ask me about what the fuck I'm doing? Yeah, first off. Number two, you got big ass feet and the skateboards only got wider and skaters just got sloppier and shittier at what they do. Because there's always that one guy who's like, oh, you ride the small board? Small dick. And I go, oh, you ride big board and your feet still drag the ground? Ha! Bad work ethic, super lazy, horrible at skating, lower than a casual, super bad at this. This is your hobby and you never got good at it? And you're over here asking shit like, come here often? Hey, fellow skate park kid, you come here often? I heard they got good kick flips here. Yelp told me there's a lot of good kick flips over here. You ever seen one in person? I heard there was, hey, fellow skater kid, what type of wheels are those? What type of wheels you got? Is this, am I doing it? Am I being a skater? Am I acting like one of yous guys? What kind of skateboard is that? Is it good for kick flips or not? I used to have my cousin used to have that skateboard and, good for heel flips, bad for kick flips. That's what I found. Good for kick flips, bad for heel flips. That particular board. That's the, show the upside down again of it. Show the upside down of it. Oh yeah, my cousin had that one. That's you scratched off the name, so I can't quite read it. But good heel flips. Come here often. What size board do you have? What kind of pants are those? How long have you been skating? No one fucking asks that type of shit. People mind their own fucking business and land their tricks. So that was part of me also flying off the handle the other day. Where I don't know how that question, not that every question has to solve, life's purpose, but what the fuck do you get out of asking me what skateboard I ride? Like, how does that conversation end? What size skateboard do you ride? 775. Oh. Oh, interesting. That's a dead-end conversation. What the fuck? Who asks shit like that? All right, I'm done. I'm done talking about skating. Anyways, I got a DM the other day from Colin McKay, and he asked me what size skateboard I ride. I told him none of your fucking business. Get the fuck out of my face. That's actually not a joke, though. Pro skater Colin McKay messaged me to ask if they could use one of my clips for to help promote something on Instagram for Chris Jocelyn. And I did a video review of Chris Jocelyn a few months ago where I think I gave him a good score, but I think I said he was really repetitive and that he does the same trick too much and that maybe this part was like a throwaway part. And they DM'd me before I had seen it, because I got up and they DM'd me and asked permission, like, hey, would it be cool if we use one of your clips? And I never responded, and they used it anyway. And then I responded later. I was like, yeah, of course you can use it, man. You guys can use anything I make. Everything I make online, anyone can do whatever you want with it. You can make me look dumb. You can make me look cool. I don't care. It's kind of an honor for a big brand like that to publicly take notice and say, hey, they're either saying my channel is stupid or they're saying they understand the jokes. Either way, it's kind of an honor to be mentioned because there's a lot of brands out there right now that are pretty scared to address me. Not because I'm intimidating or whatever, but because it could affect their board sales if they don't say the right thing to their fan base, right? if you piss off a couple of sections of fan bases in skating, it's gonna hurt your probably already plummeting board sales. So it was nice for Plan B to be like, hey, we don't give a fuck about that. You know, we appreciate humor. We understand the jokes. And then I wrote that back to him, and then he offered me a skateboard, which I thought paired perfectly with the stupid questions you should never ask joke. What kind of skateboard is that? What size board do you ride? The real situation, he's like, what size board do you ride? We could send you out a Chris Jocelyn board. And then I responded, LOL, nah. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I did not say that. Anyways, it was nice to get the shout out, and it was nice to be appreciated by them. So another cool thing to add to things kind of falling into place with the new Instagram account. What else is going on in my life? I saw on Twitter the other day, people were saying, what is the best skateboarding video game? Some of you would say EA Skate. Some of you would say Sessions or Skater XL. Some of you would say Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, Tony Hawk Underground. No. You got to go back further in time, back into probably the year 1990, when a video game came out called Yoid. What is Yoid? It was a video game promoted by like Domino's Pizza. They used to have a cartoon character that promoted their pizza called the Noid. I wish I could explain to you how this sold pizzas. I have no idea. Somehow this weird little blob would ride a skateboard and sell you pizzas. I don't remember the time. Okay, I was a child, but I later discovered the video game Yoid, and it's basically just a side platforming scroller. And then in half the levels, you can get a skateboard. And then there's like secret exits to each level. And then the best part is every time you beat a level, you have to do a bunch of math problems. Because maybe pizza makes you stupid. For some reason, in this game, I think they were marketing games mostly to children. So it probably made sense to add in some math questions so that parents would be more down to buy the game. I wonder how much that game costed when it came out. Anyways, I bring this up because I want you guys all to go check out Yoid, the video game. If you have a computer, probably your cell phone can emulate this game. I downloaded Call of Duty last week. It was 200 gigabytes. I think the entire game, Yoid, is probably a smaller file than a 5-second ringtone. It's probably like 1 megabyte. The entire video game. So I don't know what the fuck Call of Duty's doing. I'm just gonna delete that shit anyways. Why play Call of Duty when I got Ace Combat? I'm trying to find games that are cheap online, that are like realistic war games that are first-person shooters. And of course I missed the deadline of some Battlefield promotion. Battlefield 1 came out for $2, and I didn't know. I didn't have a strong enough computer back then. I wish I would have known. I forgot what I was even talking about a second ago. Oh, I'm looking for new games to play. I'm stuck playing Yoid and Mario 64. But if you guys know of any really cheap first-person shooters, I was kind of looking into this SWAT simulator, but it's $25. That's a little steep for me. We'll see what happens. I'm going to be gambling after this podcast, and I got a feeling today. I got a feeling that I'm going to win over $500. Or maybe I'm just trying to speak that into existence. You know what you guys can speak into existence? A free Ninja Lifestyle sticker pack sent directly to your home. Anyone can win today in any country. All you have to do is answer this trivia question correctly. And the trivia question is, name 3 of the secondary colors in the world. The primary colors would be red, blue, and yellow. The secondary colors would be made by mixing red and blue. 1, mixing blue and yellow. 2, and mixing yellow and red. 3, which creates purple, orange, and green. iBook Boy, you are the winner. And I just happen to have one more international stamp because I know you live in the UK. And what a great coincidence that is that I said anyone can enter. And it happens to be someone who does not live in America. iBook Boy, you are the champ. You know what'll make you feel like a champ? Supporting this podcast, but also eating healthy. Yesterday, I was panicking, riding home from after my hike. I call it a hike. I was just walking around the desert with my dog, looking at bunny rabbits. But I came home and all I had were the ingredients to make like a pico de gallo, and then I had chicken. Stopped at the Mexican market, grabbed some corn. I chose to stop at the Mexican market because if I would have stopped at Walmart with my dog in my car, some freak would have came up and fucking bashed my car windows in. That type of shit doesn't happen at the Mexican market. Rolled up there, dog was in the car. I was in the store for 30 seconds, got the corn, came out. Car window was perfectly intact. And when I got home, I combined these ingredients. Aguacate, an avocado, corn, lime juice, tomato. I baked the corn and then I cut it off the cob. Lime juice, chicken was in there, bunch of spices, spicy spices. And I'm probably leaving something out. Some type of pepper. I threw in some serrano pepper, sliced really small, made basically like a chip dip, and some cilantro. Basically made a chip dip. Then I crumpled some chips on top of it, made the poor man's Mexican salad. The only thing I was lacking was beans to make it official. Didn't have beans, or didn't feel like making any beans at that time, but it came out great. A cheap meal that is kind of healthy, that also tastes really bomb. Do it. Make what I just made. Not photogenic at all. It looks like absolute shit. But I ate that, and it changed my whole mood from kind of like tired and sad to happy and upbeat. That's what a good meal would do to you. A good meal. You know what a good movie will do to you? It'll piss you off. Final topic of the day. I watched a documentary the other day. Me and my friend Nick were sitting on the couch watching TV. Seems these days you don't get your boys together and just watch TV. It seems like you're always doing something. You're always gambling or playing pool or playing darts or watching UFC. You don't watch TV with your dogs as much as you used to when you were a kid. So we sat down, we watched this mini documentary called Balloon Boy, where this family of weirdos made a giant balloon and filled it with helium, and then it took off. And then they decided, oh, we accidentally put our child in that balloon. And then they called the national media, and then they made it a big story. They got all this headline coverage because their child flew away in a balloon, just like a cartoon would do. No one stopped to think that a kid's too heavy to fly off in a helium balloon, but maybe it could happen, who knows. Anyways, iBook Boy says, I'm guessing no child. Yeah, maybe I'm spoiling it for you guys. Turns out, no child in the balloon. The child was, quote, hiding in the house. And you guys need to watch the documentary. All it's gonna do is piss you off, but it's also gonna, in my opinion, it kind of shows that some people, when the lie becomes too big, some people can't lie anymore without looking super obvious. You know what I mean? O.J. Simpson, at the end of all that, it got to the point where you just didn't even care what the truth was. You knew that fucker was lying all the time. And you're going to get that same emotion. Except it's going to be like more annoying when you watch the Netflix documentary, Balloon Boy. Anyways, yeah, check it out. A lot of fun topics today. That's all I have for the podcast today, but don't go anywhere because after this podcast, I'm going to film a special message for Andy Schrock to be a part of We Want Revenge, We Want Revive, episode whatever. So I guess that's it. Go ahead and give me a oh, hell yeah. If you enjoyed the podcast, if you tuned in late, don't worry. The repeat of this podcast comes out on iTunes, on Spotify, on podcast app, anywhere where podcasts can be found. I'm starting to lose my voice today. It's been a while since that happened. Extra big shout out to The Real Griff for subscribing for his 7th month in a row. I appreciate you guys tuning in, checking out the podcast live right here on twitch.tv/Ninja Lifestyle. Shout out to Trey Landing, D Trick, Generation L, iBook Boy, 62 Flames, Day Day, Derek Gads, Trey Landing, Chillin' Pete. The Real Griff subscribed. If you want to support the podcast, you can always send money. But if you don't have any money, then you can tell a friend about the podcast. Put a link to the podcast on your Instagram or something like that. iBook Boy just also donated 1,000 bits. That is going to go towards my first 2 beers of the night. I appreciate that. And I will end this podcast the way we end every podcast. Don't drink too much and don't drink too little. Tonight, look up gameplay from the video game Yoid. All right.